What's up, guys? Today I'll be giving you my thought process and my steps on how I go about a drawing. I know some of my friends have asked whenever I posted my pictures that I completed on Facebook that they wanted to know if how I go about it, are they traced, and which to answer to that, they're not traced. All of them are original drawings, which I thought up in my this head right here. When it comes to, when it comes to starting off with a drawing, I basically start off by staring at a white piece of paper if I don't have anything to draw, and just trying to come to me the idea to come to me, and while I'm waiting, I either doodle or make shapes to the point where it it comes close to something that may form into something, which makes sense to those who in the drawing world. But yeah, now when it comes to the materials, I have the clipboard with a clip attachment. Also, the paper I'm using is drawn paper or printer paper. Both work equally as good. And depending on how I feel, I either draw clip side up or clip side down. But right for this particular video, I'm doing clip side down. Up, I mean. Anyways, um, secondly, I have a kneaded eraser, which just comes in handy, and every now and then will keep me focused. As I use it to just basically erase, and it's a good way to also a stress reliever as well. Get yourself a kneaded eraser, guys. It helps keep stress down. Sometimes it's better than punching somebody in the face and getting arrested. So, um, plus I also have the eraser, not eraser, sharpener for the colored pencils, the long stemmed ones. So that's when at the end when I start coloring in my drawing. And now onto this one, which is my mechanical pencil, which unfortunately I had to upgrade since Old Reliable here has been kind of falling apart with the cover right here. This has been with me since like uh, for 20 years, I guess, and it's been handy for me when it comes to drawing. But now I upgraded, and though I haven't, and though I upgraded, this will always be my trusty pal right here. Now onto the drawing itself. When it comes to the drawing, I you have to set the tone, and what I mean is, if you draw sets the tone for the whole drawing itself, and the eyes set the tone. So depending on what the size of the eyes are, it correlates with how big my particular drawing will be. So let's start off with the eyes, and yeah, it's you don't want to go too dark because you just want to lightly start off with what you're gonna draw first. So yeah, so there, and I have and when it comes to this drawing right here, I have no idea what's gonna come about, but I have some idea, which if it makes any sense. But I think my artist friends out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, so here's my trusty kneaded eraser right there. So yeah, setting the tone with the size of the eyes. So I'm guesstimating the size of this particular drawing will probably be about yay big right here. So yeah. Yeah, lightly draw in there, and so that way when you need to erase, it doesn't get any scuff marks or you accidentally tear the paper, which I've done many times, and I had to start all over again. And there had been points where it was a good drawing, it was getting better, and then I just kept erasing and erasing, and it tore the paper. So yeah, we've all been there for those who like to draw. So, so back in there. Draw. I like to draw and talk at the same time. It's like kind of like in a Bob Ross kind of way, and we're going to draw in a happy place. So, and though he works with paintbrushes, I work with pencils, mechanical pencils. It's how I work best. I know many of us rather enjoyed Bob Ross's paintings. I know when I was a kid, I basically sat watched his videos, and it was awesome. And you just sit there, and then all of a sudden 30 minutes pass by, and an awesome painting would just be created in a matter of what seemed like seconds. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. When I first started out drawing, I started out as stick figures and just basically flat images. But I know a friend of mine when I went to the University of Southern Mississippi, named Austin Kirkwood, kind of helped me get better in a way, and he showed me there's more depth when you get into when you do shadows and all that stuff, and I took his advice, and also Mr. Rashid, my high school art mentor, who to this day I still take his advice, or his advice that was written down in my yearbook back in the day in high school in Rosie Roads. And what he said to me, what he written down in my yearbook was, imagine, draw, create. What you can conceive can be. And I've adhered to that to this day, and I credit Mr. Rashid for that. And he still is today considered my art mentor, and I really appreciate what he's done when it comes to encouraging me to branch out into more of a colored scheme of my drawings, because for so long I've been using the platform of just pencil sketches drawing and just black and white. And with my last drawing of Logan and X-23, I used color, and it just really brought out the picture if you really looked at it. And anyways, getting back to the drawing, so everybody should have a mentor that they look up to, and I continue to seek every once in a while Mr. Rashid's advice when it comes to the drawings I've done. So yeah, or I am doing so. Like I said, you want to do it a little bit light, so you don't want to mess things up and put yourself in a unfortunate corner. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the hair, it can be a little tricky situation. So I just basically try to not give it like a light flare to it, and that way when I can come back later and correct it, since it's just a light touch to it. So yeah, there you go. So I don't know where we're going with this, but let's see what's find out, because I have some idea what I'm drawing, but and at the same time I have no earthly idea what I'm doing. But it's a surprise for both of us. Just keeping it light, keeping it light. Alright. Now we're cooking with gas. I tend to say that a lot. And another phrase that I found myself saying, which could be end up in my tombstone whenever I die, when I eventually pass away, and it's this three words. That's not good. I say it a lot in everyday life. Plus, indeed. So yeah, I like to say indeed a lot, especially in my writings I post in my blogspot page, The Inner Sanctum, which if you want to after this, go check it out. See what's been going on in my head and what I write about. All right. So we're getting there. So yeah, in there, go in there. Yeah, keep it flowing. Don't get too focused on one area. That way you can go back and touch up and correct mistakes. Touch up there. If it seems when for an artist, anything that seems off can personally throw him or her off, and it can get considerably annoying when that happens. Yeah, there you go. And just keep going. Not making sure not to really get into it, just so that when you come back later and correct those, make additions to whatever you're drawing. Yeah, when it comes to your own personal drawing, you can do whatever you want. It's your world. It's your own world. Like, there are no rules in our world, in whatever world you're drawing in, whatever headspace that you have going on when it comes to the world of your imagination that's inside your own head. It may be weird, it may be strange, and it may be totally out there, but the finished product can be way better than what you actually anticipated or thought. Yeah, right there. And I'm not going to go too in depth. I know this is just a tutorial of how I start out, but yeah. So now when it comes to the hands, I just basically, not to get in depth, just make like that sort of shape right here, as if he's clenching his fist. Since he's wearing a coat, maybe open it up a little at the bottom. There you go. Yeah, it's getting there. It's looking good. And then keep on going. The light can be pretty tricky because it tends to have a mind of its own. But if you have control over what you draw, sometimes and which is all the time. But there are times where it can get away from you. So um, have the mindset to take control of your own drawing, because if you don't, you'll end up just driving yourself crazy and trying to figure out how it's not working with how it's not working for you. Spend hours or minutes or hours just looking at it from afar and just staring at it and thinking, what is wrong with you? Why won't it come together? And you'll be kicking yourself mentally and try to figure out why it isn't working at all. So. That way, actually, the way you're standing, there you go. There you go. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. There we go. And yeah, so just keep going. And everybody has an origin story when it comes to drawing. And my origin story is just basically using drawing stick figures, and enjoyed it. And it's just basically, if you have a passion for drawing, just continue drawing, and it helps you stay focused and use your imagination when it comes to creating something you straight out of your head, whether it's, especially if it's either you're doing writing, singing. It's what you create that other people enjoy for others to see, hear, or listen to. There you go. And not bother with shading it, but yeah, you can see it's coming along nicely. One of the animes I enjoy watching is, as I said, it looks like a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh in there, but yeah, there's like Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball is the standard for which every anime fan that watches. I've enjoyed new animes that I just got into, like Black Clover over the past couple of months. Black Clover, like I said, Sword Art Online, which I believe the other half of season 3, or is it 4, coming out soon, which either way I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I haven't been. Oh, and also Haikyuu was actually a volleyball anime, which surprised me that I actually enjoyed it, and it got me emotionally invested. So yeah. Also, Seven Deadly Sins was one of them, and surprising ones. I'm checking out more animes as I surf the net on like sites like Nine Anime or Crunchyroll, but these are not glowing endorsements. I just like going to those sites. But yeah, when it gets back to this drawing, just it's turning out okay. It's more in depth, more lines. Yeah, once this drawing is completed, it'll go in this particular folder. Like many of my other drawings, like yeah, on the front cover is Yu-Gi-Oh, like I said. So, like this folder right here, this is already filled. This is actually the first one in here of all the drawings that I've drawn over the years. Some good, some bad, but mostly some good are put in here. But the ones that are in some bad category, and that haven't completed go in this particular folder right here, like old drawings, some drawings that I really didn't like at all, and just they all are stored in here. Like let's see which one. Like this particular drawing that I started, and it's kind of busy and kind of cluttered, but yeah. So kind of trying to tell a story, but as you can see the one-dimensionalness of it, all that drawing right there. Yeah, that's it went into the not so good pile of folder, which is stored in here. So yeah, well, yeah, like I said, my best advice for beginners at drawing, just continue drawing. You'll eventually get better, and continue drawing, and don't let anyone tell you that that it's not worth anything. As long as you enjoy it and have a passion for it, and do it to where you would like to do it as a profession, or at least a hobby of yourself to keep your time, I encourage you to do it. Yeah. If you actually enjoyed this video, I will actually, speaking of this video, this drawing right here, I will continue. We'll work on it some more, add a few characters, and eventually color it, and I'll post it on my channel for the finished product. And like I said, if you like this video, hit like, comment if you will, if you learned anything at all, my process. If you're an artist out there, what is your personal process? Just comment below, and then like I said, have a good night. To all you out there, to the Guru Gang or the peeps or whoever you want to be called, it's your choice. Like I said in the past, have a good one.